Fight Chronicles MMA, exploring the mastery beyond the mayhem.
Early insights on Kamaru Usman heading into the Hauken Buckley fight at UFC Atlanta. When people talk about Kamaru Usman these days, it's almost like they've forgotten who he is. The narrative has shifted. The knees are gone, the chin's cracked, and the throne has slipped away. And now he's just supposed to be a stepping stone for Hauken Buckley's rise. I disagree. Usman may not be in his prime, but he's not done. Beneath the wear and tear is a fighter with championship pedigree, high level fight IQ, and the tools to dismantle near anybody in the welterweight division. This is a video on how he can turn back the clock, silence the doubters, and remind the world he's still a problem. Here's how he does it: the jab and the straight right. One of Kamaru Usman's most consistent and underrated weapons is his jab. The jab in his hands isn't just a range tool, it's a disruptor. He's used it to break rhythm, hold pressure, and even drop elite opponents like Gilbert Burns. Buckley relies heavily on closing the distance and unleashing bursts of power. Usman's jab can keep him at bay, frustrate his timing, and most importantly, continuously reset the exchanges. He can utilize it to set the tone and pace of the fight. And also, since he doesn't throw many kicks or knees, the jab will be handy to keep himself safe from Buckley weaponizing kicks, as throwing leg kicks from long range is tough when your opponent steps in and pops your head back with jabs repeatedly. The straight right hand, meanwhile, carries real knockout power. This is his dangerous weapon while kickboxing, and the punch that can cause devastating damage. He's used it to knock out and hurt multiple high level competitors throughout his career. He rocked Colby in their first fight repeatedly and knocked Masvidal out with it too. Against a compact, explosive striker like Hauken Buckley, this countering weaponry becomes crucial. The straight right, thrown with precision behind the jab or off a feint, could catch Buckley mid explosion when he's most vulnerable. Timing Buckley with the right while he's rushing in or faking a level change to disguise a straight right are Usman's best ways to hurt him on the field. Talking about faking level changes brings me to my next point: the use of feints. A critical adjustment for Usman in this fight is the intelligent use of feints. Historically, Usman has been reactive to feints, something fighters like Leon exploited to open up attacks. This time, he must reverse that dynamic. By using shoulder feints, level changes, and rhythm disruptions, he has to force Buckley into a reactive mindset. Buckley thrives when he's initiating chaos. If Usman can flip that script and make him second guess his own entries, it reduces the danger of explosive counters and spinning techniques. Feints also serve a dual purpose here. They mask Usman's intentions, whether he's striking or transitioning to a takedown, and that element of unpredictability will be key. Utilizing feints just to show Buckley the tools in his arsenal and give him different looks is a wise idea, as Wonderboy had considerable success with it. Multiple methods of takedown entries. While Usman's wrestling has always been his foundation, he must evolve beyond brute force double legs and cage pressure. Buckley is short, powerful, and athletic, traits that can make him difficult to hold down if takedowns are too linear or telegraphed. Usman generally just level changes into a double leg or single leg and powers through, or he uses his hips near the fence to power into a takedown. He needs to add more ways of taking down Buckley. He has used more nuanced techniques like foot trips against RDA and in the first Leon fight, and these should be emphasized in this matchup. Mixing in trips, foot sweeps, and more subtle substitutes of power can both surprise Buckley and preserve Usman's energy. In particular, chaining takedown attempts together, such as moving from single leg to trip or body lock to double leg, can wear Buckley down and sap the spring from his legs. A varied takedown approach will also keep Buckley hesitant, forcing him to constantly guess whether a strike or a shot is coming. In essence, he has to demonstrate an evolved version of his takedown arsenal to cause Buckley trouble in this fight. Utilization of fight IQ. Above all else, Usman's most decisive advantage may be his fight IQ. With years at the top of the sport, including multiple title defenses, he's shown the ability to adjust mid-fight and exploit weaknesses. However, he's also been known to wear into emotional brawls, especially in heated matchups like his fights with Colby. Against Buckley, that tendency would be dangerous, as Buckley is a momentum fighter. One clean shot can swing the energy of a round, if not the fight itself. Usman must resist the urge to bite down on his mouthpiece and trade recklessly. Instead, he should trust his setups, stick to his fundamentals, and impose a suffocating, measured pace. Buckley can be maneuvered into bad positions using cage awareness and switching stances. By controlling the tempo and forcing Buckley to fight on his terms, he can chip away round by round, breaking him down with precision and patience. These are the main aspects I wanted to address. A few minor points to touch on are as follows. Usman's submission game. This is something that I want to keep an eye on as it has seemed to evolve in his training camp footage. He looks more dangerous on the ground. His arm triangle is one submission I would keep an eye on, as he has submitted an opponent with it before in the tough finale and recently subbed Gaethje in practice. His chin and knees. I have contradicting opinions here. His chin should have recovered sufficiently from his title run, as he has only fought once in over 2 years. The knees are a different story, on the other hand. Generally, knees don't get better, but they can hurt less if you reduce the daily wear and tear on them. However, Usman's knees look the worst I have seen them. He looks in pain in most of the training sessions, and his movement, which has always been strange and jerky, looks even more uncomfortable now. These are things that should be kept in mind heading into the fight. To conclude, I do understand why most people are picking Hawken Buckley to win this fight. He's younger, he's explosive, been way more active, and is riding a 6 fight win streak with all the momentum that comes with it. Usman, on the other hand, has been out of action, his knees are a known issue, and he's definitely not in his prime anymore. But here's the thing, this isn't some washed up veteran walking into a paycheck. This is still Kamaru Usman, the guy who ruled the 170-pound division. If Buckley wins, it won't be a blowout. It won't be an easy walkover. Usman is still sharp, still dangerous, and if he fights smart, uses a jab, mixes in the takedowns, and controls the tempo, he can make this a very close fight. Maybe Buckley edges it on speed and activity. Maybe he lands the bigger moments. But don't be surprised if Usman drags this into deep waters and makes people remember exactly who he is. Buckley is the favorite, but this certainly won't be one-way traffic. And when it's all said and done, it might not even go his way. Early Insights, Part 3, Usman's Perspective.
Fight Chronicles MMA, signing off.